Hey Stampin' friends, welcome to the Joy of Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon and it's our Wednesdays kit class. Today I'll be making 3 cards using the In Your Words Celebration stamp set. Go into Whole Life Flip and I'll tell you all about it. All right. Welcome to our Wednesdays kit class. Today, I have some really fun cards and happy first day of fall. So these cards are perfect for today with kind of a more of a masculine / fall looking to them. I am using a Celebration Hostess stamp set. So let me tell you a little bit about this and a little bit about how our class works today. So because it's Wednesday, if you order between now and Friday, $35 worth from my online store, I will send you the paper products for this kit for free. It's such a great deal, especially since I use a lot of different items that unless you have them already in your craft room, it's a great way to play with a little bit and still getting a lot. And you get to pick whatever you want for the $35. So it's a win-win. However, let me tell you about this stamp set here. So it's called In Your Words, and you can see it's a cling stamp and a celebration host stamp, which means you can only get this when you host a party and have friends help you meet your $300 worth in sales, or if you order $300 worth in sales as well. And so you have 2 options. I have a Hostess Code link that you can use and order just with that one for your kit today. Or you can have your own Hostess Code or order just all by yourself online, and you'll get also $30 worth of product with using the Hostess Code for your choice. And then also you get to pick celebration items right now. So if you order $300 worth, you're getting 6 celebration items, or 2 $50 celebration items and 2 $100 items. So it's a great way to get a lot. If you know $300 isn't in your budget and you really want the stamp set, I am giving one free with everyone who orders. Well, you get a chance to win one for free. When you order with the Hostess Code for the month, you may get this as your thank you mail. So order, and your chances are greater of getting this one if you don't want to spend the $300 in order to get it for free. All right, let me go ahead and show you each of these cards and the stamps as well, because this set, I can't even I just want to let you look at this forever because it has the best sayings. This one we're using, your birthday came, your birthday went. Here's a card I should have sent. We're using the Hope This Card Makes You Smile. And we're also using the simple happy birthday. It's a 2 font kind, which I love when they use 2 fonts for one phrase. And I love this one above it as well. Like I said, these ones tend to look a little bit more masculine. I'm using the Beauty of the Earth DSP, which allows more of a warm look to it, a fall look to it. And I've paired it with some amazing dies. So these are called the Painted Label dies. Let me show you what those look like real quick. These dies have been in our catalog for a little while now, and I just have really neglected them. And they're pretty amazing. So they cut out some of the shapes of the matching stamp set right here. But then they have these great label sizes here. And even these little scalloped lace kind of edge to it. A doily looking here. And then this guy right here is a star. So this is this awesome die that cuts out a swirl with a circle center with stitched around the center as well. It is awesome. And I can't believe I haven't used it more than I have already. So I'm going to put this into my must use all the time type of dies. All right, let's go ahead and make this one. These are really basic layouts, but because of the paper and the way that we've paired everything, they look awesome. And the same you can always change out for that center part as well. So I'm using a Mossy Meadow card base, and when you get your kit, it'll look a lot like this. Pretty simple, but I will give you your DSP and you can cut that out to the sizes that you want. The DSP that I've cut out, I went 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1/2 inch, And then I have it all at the 5 1/4. And we're just going to pair those off together. I was trying to keep them, there we go, in line. So it looks like it's a continuation of the DSP. And that you just see like these little gaps in there. Let's see if that's the match to this one or if we need to flip it. What do we think? Flip it. Perfect. Now we got that lined up right. And then you'll have, of course, this cool circle swirl. That's what I've been calling it, a circle swirl. And it'll have these little pieces. You'll just need to break out of it that come off super easily, or you can use your paper snips to help poke them through, just like that. I like to show you that. So when this happens, when you run this through your die cutting machine and you're like, oh no, it didn't cut it. Oh, it did. You just have to sometimes help that paper come out a little bit more. Okay. And then of course we have the basic white to go on the inside because this Mossy Meadow is a darker color. And I'm using our Mossy Meadow ink as well. And you could change up and make this card say whatever you want in the circle. This one would fit really well as well. Be born who you were born to be. And I think the happy birthday would fit well. And even this one too. If you are unsure and you want to know what will fit, you could take it on there and just kind of size it up. That one might fit if I push it along that way as well. So that would be a fun one too. All right. I love the saying though because it can be meant and used and sent for anything. Anything that you want to hope for someone to smile for is a perfect one. The hope this card makes you smile. So let's go ahead and ink that up in the Mossy Meadow. And we'll just stamp that right here in the center. Super easy, and that turned out great. All right, now we just need to glue our DSP to our card base. And I'll use our liquid glue. And make sure we have them all lined up, huh? There we go. Just trying not to mess it up. So you flip one over, put just a little bit of liquid glue on it, and flip it back. You want to give yourself a border by the score line and the top and the bottom of your DSP. You can use your grid line if you want to be super straight and extra careful. Sometimes I just eyeball it and I can get away with it not being completely perfect. All right, glue that one and flip it, and then just line it up. I have the smallest gap in between them. It's about maybe less than 1/8. It's just the tiniest little thing. But you can space that out as wide as you like. I think the closer the better, but not touching. And our last piece there. So these 3 pieces just really look awesome together. Like that alone looks amazing. Now we're just going to add some dimensionals to the back of our swirly circle and attach it. Like I said, this card is really, really simple. Comes together fast. You can make a lot of them. And because this die is so awesome, there's not a whole lot more I need to do. So kind of offset it a little bit there so it's a little bit over the DSP and on the Mossy Meadow. And of course we need to embellish just slightly. I have the brush metallic adhesive back dots. I usually just call them metallic dots though. And we'll select one of those. There's 3 different shades. I kind of like this. This is like a copper, a gold, and a brass maybe. We're gonna use this brass one. It kind of looks green-like to me, so we'll just set that right there. And then let's grab our seal, and we can attach our basic white or Seal Plus, whichever one. If you want to stamp the inside of this one, you could do that before you attach it to the inside. So if you mess up, you can totally flip it over. Just gonna make sure we have a border on each end of this one. Grab our bone folder. Flip it to the back side for the bone folder. I feel like that makes it so we don't ruin the front. And there we go. Super easy card using that DSP and our great saying right there. All right, let's go ahead and go on to our next one. Let's do this one. This one's our happy birthday one. And when I saw a sample like this, I'm not using paper the same or anything. They had like the two little leaves tucked underneath here, kind of like it look more like a flower. I want my leaves to look like they're falling because this is more of a masculine card and not a floral card. And then also these leaves I made from the stitch leaf dies, which I love. They're some of my favorite leaf dies because they are thicker than usual. But if you don't have the stitch leaf ones, you can use, also I put them in here, there we go, the dies that came with the painted label ones. This is what the leaf looks like in that one. It's a little bit smaller and it doesn't have that cool stitching, but it would totally work for you if you didn't have these ones as well. Of course, when you get the kit, yours will come with these stitched ones. And I did go ahead and do one in Mossy Meadow and one in that DSP. This Beauty of the Earth DSP has print on it that makes it look like changing leaves. Look at that. Let me see if we can focus. Oh my goodness. I just love that paper and how perfect it is for cutting out leaves. All right, so I have my Early Espresso card base, I have my Mossy Meadow mat, and my DSP. You can see on the other side, that kind of green looking trees. Let's go ahead and just glue those together right now, and then we'll do our stamping. Again, a very simple layout, and we're having those dies do all of the work for us, and the DSP. I'm telling you, the star of this card are those dies and DSP. However, the sayings from that stamp set are my favorite. They really are. There's just not a bad one in there. Sometimes you get a stamp set and you only like 2 or 3 of the stamp sayings in there. No, this one, you will love every single saying that's in here. Sending this card for no particular reason. I see you and you are wonderful. It just gets me every time. I just love them. Oh. All right, let's go ahead and poke these ones out, and then we can stamp on our Old Olive. So I have 2 shades of green. The Mossy Meadow is this darker one, and the Old Olive is more of a lighter green, but still a warm color. Still rich, it's not super bright. So there's our swirly. This one I cut out with this layering circle dies, and I just fit it to match. So that would go right over that center there. And let's use our saying, just that regular happy birthday. And you can choose if you want to do it in the Mossy Meadow or the Early Espresso. I'm going to go ahead and do let's do Mossy Meadow because I did Early Espresso for that one. Just so you can see what the difference is. And if you only have one of those ink colors, you will know which one you prefer. All right, so our happy birthday. Again, love the 2 fonts on one saying. We'll ink that up. Looks good. And go about center. Awesome. Okay, put that away, and then let's attach this to our swirl, our circle swirl, and we'll grab some dimensionals again. This almost looks like a nest. Like if this was, it would be perfect to have like a bird in there too. Flip it over, grab our dimensionals. For this large of a circle, you want at least 3. Remove the backings. And set this on. If you're questioning any of my measurements, just be sure to visit my blog. I'll have all of them up over on there after the live and in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube later. All right. Next, we're just going to add some glue dots to help us attach our falling leaves. Let's put 1 glue dot on there, and just want to have it look like it's moving. So you don't want it to be straight on, you want to have it at an angle. And the same with this other, our DSP one. I'll grab a glue dot for it, and we're going to have it a little bit down below. And I want the glue dot because I want these to be detached and kind of a little bit more mobile looking. They look like they're floating off the page. All right, we just need to embellish and add our basic white insert for the inside because it is a very dark card base. All right, this one, I think I used also more of the brass colored ones. I'm gonna go ahead and try the gold for this one. We'll switch it up just a little bit. And you'll wanna put at least 2 together and then one separately down here below. Awesome. All right, let's flip it over to add our basic white inside. And if you only have liquid glue, you could totally use liquid glue to attach this. But I don't like glue lines on my white paper. So I like to use a double-sided adhesive. And Stampin' Up! Has a Seal Plus or just regular seal. And whatever you have, I say use it. But look how clean the inside is with that, like that double-sided adhesive. You can't see any glue lines at all. So that's why I prefer that. All right, there's those two cards. Look how awesome that looks. I know any guy would love this card. And you could still give it to a girl and she would love it too, but definitely leans more towards the masculine side. All right, ready for our last card? Again, super easy, but it has this best saying, and we've done layers instead. But look at this paper, how we were able to use it for the whole card front. And it just is gorgeous. It has the darker colors here to lighter to almost the fading out. And that's all paper. I did nothing to that at all. Beauty of the Earth paper. All right, so I'm using a thick basic white card base because we want this card to be sturdy. And I no longer use just basic white for a base. Our basic white is pretty thin and light, and so it's great to color on, but because of how smooth it is and everything with our blends, but not so fun as a card base. It just isn't the same weight of paper. So I highly recommend the thick basic white for any of your bases. All right, let's grab our saying here and we'll slide it over, and our early espresso ink. So this die is pretty awesome. Let's see if you can see this label. Has a little bit of a raised edge, and that's, I want to say indentation or like a score along that as well. It's pretty fabulous, and it's a great size. So you can put a lot of different things inside of this one. I just happen to love this birthday saying one. And I hate to admit that I do send late cards. It happens. Either life gets busy or they've gotten forgotten, and it feels so awkward to send unless you make it funny. And I think that's what this saying does. It makes a late card a funny card versus a, oh, I forgot your birthday. This is, I didn't really forget it because I'm remembering now. All right, so I stamped that. Then what we're gonna do is flip this over and just add this label here. Just put a little bit of adhesive on the back. And then we can either use liquid glue for that one if you wanted. And then we're going to line it up. So we're just gonna see the tops and the bottom of that Mary Merlot scallop looking circle. Just kind of like that. All right, next we can go ahead and add our DSP to the front of our card. Right there to that score line, to the corner of the card front. See, it looks pretty good. And then we're going to attach our vellum. So for the vellum, you can either use a glue dot or just a little bit of double-sided adhesive. So because it's vellum, you don't want glue all over the place with it. You want to make sure you're putting it in a place that will be covered up as well. Then we're going to flip this over and add our dimensionals. These are all just those great layers that came with the painted label dies. And so they just layer nicely. And you can change up the colors to make it more masculine or feminine, just depending on who you're sending the card to. All right, I'm gonna go about center for this one. And look how awesome that is. Perfect, perfect. Love it. And I hardly did anything. That's the beauty of this card. All right, we just need to grab one more of our embellishments. Let's go ahead and do a copper one for this one. Let's grab just a tiny copper piece, and we'll put that right down here on the label. Love it. Grab your bone folder, carefully fold over. And there we go. Two super cute, funny late cards using that beautiful paper just to be the star of the card. All right, so we have this one. Then we made our happy birthday with our falling leaves. And then we also have our Hope This Card It Makes You Smile with our beautiful fall leaf paper. Super easy cards. Paper, dies, do all the work, and just pick your favorite sayings from the stamp set in your words. All right, you guys, I hope you've had a fun time learning this layout and have a wonderful first day of fall, or if you're watching this later on, happy season. Whatever season you're in, enjoy it. Have a great day and happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.